Hey guys, Grumpy here with another episode of Breaking the Rules. Um, so I did a thing, and I am kicking myself because it was something that was very important, and I definitely meant to show it on camera. However, wasn't recording, and yeah, I'll just show you. So when we left off, we were composing our fleet basically to do a couple of bounties, continue our piracy, so we could earn the credits to buy better ships. Well, we definitely did buy better ships, and with those better ships, we challenged one of the most, well, I guess depending how you look at it, it could be considered one of the most difficult fights in the game. At this point, though, it's more like a fleet check, like a knowledge check of how to defeat the fight, more so than what the fight is. Anyway, with all that stalling out of the way, if we look at our colony, or not our colony, but our little station over here, and we go over here to the take tab, yeah, we took on the ziggurat fight, and we won. So unfortunately, I don't have that footage, but I can walk through the strategy of how I defeated it, what I did to achieve it. So if you look at our fleet, it's mostly composed of. I'm gonna take some crew out because that's gonna bother me while I talk. Okay. All right. So if you look at our fleet here, minus the Dominator that I just put away, it's mostly heavy armor. A lot of it is heavy armor, and you see a lot of high explosive, and then as well as some reliant on beam weapons. Now, when you look at the ziggurat, it is definitely a tougher fight, right? It is an imposing ship. It's a phase ship, so you can't hit it all the time. It moves around very quickly. It turns very quickly because in phase space it moves faster. It has very short cooldown. It has motes which do EMP damage. They hop your shield, right? Like a lot of really nasty, devastating effects. However, at the end of the day, it is a phase ship, and you can pressure a phase ship down quite effectively with fighters, with beam weapons, with anything that does a lot of high explosive damage. So a lot of missiles, hellbore cannons, devastators were particularly effective in this fight. And I really wish I had the footage because the final scene were my ships on like 10%, 25% hull getting smashed by motes, everybody joined together with the ziggurat in the center, just blasted missiles. Sometimes missiles would phase through the ship and hit other ships, like splash on the shield. So it was really intense, and I wish I captured it. I don't know what I was thinking. I apologize. Now, if you want to see the fight, if you want to me to restart the series at this point, I definitely understand. I will go ahead. That's no problem. We're only 3 episodes in. I don't mind doing that. But if you don't mind and you can just reminisce or imagine the fight on your own, then you can definitely do that as well. If you want, I can put together a solo video that is not part of the series, but is just me fighting the ziggurat as kind of like a rough copy of what happened. But yeah. So with that out of the way, we now have the ziggurat in our fleet, as well as a lot of bombing boys. So what I will do is I will pilot the ziggurat myself, put back a couple of these ships. Interestingly, in the fight, I upgraded, these used to be Sabos, I upgraded to the Dragonfire DEM torpedoes. These things are vicious. Oh, they're like auto fire reaper or guided reapers, and I love that. So this is the design that I'm going with for right now, and we'll just see how that works out. So we'll put back some of these other ships because in this episode we need to do a little bit of farming. So what else don't we need? Surprisingly, the Venture is actually really good with the Gorgons as well, or the Dragonfires. But I'm gonna yoink them. I'm gonna put you away. I'm gonna go ahead and refit you with these. The Gorgons were nice. These do laser damage. Really reliable. You get a lot of them out of those pods. So really, really effective against destroyers, actually. And then for you, you need to be a Squall. Squall got nerfed. It no longer does EMP damage, but it does still does a significant amount of kinetic damage. Just really nice to have in your fleet. If you have 2 of these, you're sitting pretty. Do I have small Gorgons? I'll go visit the Persians when I get a chance. And I'll buy up some Gorgons. I want to replace these Harpoons with Gorgons. I love them. They've been so helpful. Oh, yeah, I shield shunted my Dominator. That was pretty interesting. But now this thing is kind of useless. I don't really need it anymore. So let's actually just strip it and put it away. I think I shield shunted both of these. Yeah, these are my frontline units. They absorb most of the moats because the moats don't do that much damage against heavily armored targets. So actually, we do get to keep the Venture. Fantastic. Alright, so in this spot, we are going to go with just some Gorgons. Keep it nice and simple. Heavy Mauler. Yeah, Heavy Mauler. Fighting from the back. Okay. So, this episode, we need to gather some officers to finish crewing up our fleet, as well as preparing to do some very dangerous farming. All right. So let's. Oh, actually, there's some persons right here. Go figure. What do you have? Man, it feels so good to trade on the black market, in contrast to long haul and by the rules, which really limited what we could do. So let's head over to Western East. And actually, I think I'll take care of it. But I need to. Take on the main storyline, actually. At some point. We don't have to do it right away. But eventually we need to go over to the Galatian Academy. It's going to really throw them for a loop, though, because you're supposed to do this towards the end of the quest line. And I believe it's north. Yeah, it's north of YMA. It's either here or it's a little further up. But there's something that you get when you unlock Transverse Jump. But if you take Transverse Jump from the start of the game, which I did, or rather Navigation, which gives you Transverse Jump, you can always jump in to that spot, which is reserved as an end game fight. Well, oh, sorry. We need transponder zone. We're in civil space. Sure. I don't have any contraband. What are you talking about? The gazers are okay. We don't really need them though. Buy some more Gorgons. I need the small Gorgons. And I already know at some point I'm gonna end up calling them Gorgonzolas, so I pre-apologize for that. Alright. And it just occurred to me that you guys are very interested in probably me showing off what the Ziggurat can do. And I realized after my introduction I totally didn't do anything like that, but trust me, you'll see. You'll see what it does. It's sporting my current favorite build. Well, second favorite. Oops All Reapers, which is just a hilarious arrangement. Like, these are your strongest weapons? This is your king? Unless I don't know. Turn off our transponder. One of the downsides though to having the ziggurat in your fleet is, one, you'll be constantly harassed by Tritac. They'll try to surprise ambush you. And also, if you fight anybody, they'll know who you are. Transponder on, off. You're sporting like a ship of legends. They know exactly who you are and exactly what that is. Interestingly though, you can talk to anybody, dock, with no problem. Like, you can totally just have, you know, this ship of legends sitting in the hangar bay while you buy stuff off the black market. Nobody bats an eye. Got some Mjolnir cannons. They have a large dragonfire? Okay. That's going on a ship. That's going on you. Forget the stinky Merv. Oh, I'm supposed to be looking for officers. You're an admin. Nope. Let's head over here to Monier. Yeah, I don't know how the game reconciles that. That's not really my problem. Alright. Oh, yeah. So, I apologize if I end up repeating myself at some point in the series, but if you are looking for weapons, if you're looking for specific ships, one of the changes that was made in 0.96, and I really love this change, is that now weapons and ships belong to their factions, or they're more likely to appear in their factions. So, Trisakion obviously is high-tech ships. A lot of really tough, powerful energy weapons, so you're going to find those there. With the Hedge, you're going to find ballistic weapons, really high-quality ballistic weapons, as well as very well-armored ships. With the Pirates, you're going to find odds and ends, so it's kind of like a mystery what you'll end up getting from them. The Church is going to carry a lot of Eradicators. I think you can get Retributions and Invictus from them. But just really bulky, slow ships that have just really nice robustness. Kind of similar to Hegemony, but not like with that military aspect. And then the Persians have all their midline ships, which are all phenomenal, incredible ships, as well as the best missiles in the game. And oh man, I've been shouting from the rooftop how awesome missiles are. And in 0.96, missiles have gotten even better. I will do a review of missiles because they definitely need to be updated. I need to explain all the crazy things that you can do with these now and all the builds that have opened up from the changes. Again, I don't know what Alex was thinking, but he has crafted some of the most amazing weapons in vanilla. Really buffed. Like, this was a massive buff to the Persians. Prior to this, I'd probably say the rankings were Tritachyon probably had like the scariest ships. Hedge was second to that. Then it was like Lion's Guard, and then like the Persians fourth. But now Persians, I think, are more dangerous than Tritachyon. Like a fleet with 2 Griffins in it, or Griffins? Sorry, it's been a while. Yeah, of course. A fleet with like 2 Griffins in it. Now you really have to pay attention because this will end your run very easily. All right. So speaking of, let's go ahead and upgrade these. And I think that's good there. You have, you have missile specialization. You have Gorgons there. Let's go ahead and upgrade you. And then eventually we want to fill these up. For right now, we can leave them as hammers. Hammers are also really good. They didn't get any buff. They're just, in general, just good weapons. This is a funky design, I'm realizing. Oh, this is a leftover. The moats you can shoot down, or well, I was told that the moats can be shot down by point defense, so that's why they're kind of in this arraignment. So we've actually, well, you know what? We just have really good point defense ships, which we never do. I'm not gonna reshuffle these right now. Okay. This is just ridiculous. I honestly probably want these to be sabos, but it is what it is. Okay. So, we've upgraded our ships quite a bit now that we have those Gorgons. And what we're looking for is beacons. Because we need cores. And unfortunately, I don't think we know of any besides that low one right there. So we'll do a little light exploring in this area, and then we'll head back. Also, do you have an officer? You do. You come with mil-spec and you're timid? You're breaking my heart. I can upgrade you from timid to cautious. And you have target analysis. Why are you timid? You would be fantastic in our fleet. I could stick you in the Griffin. Yeah. You're gonna ruin our fleet, but whatever. Don't scratch anything. Alright. Which frees up a better officer for another ship. So we're gonna mentor you, and we're gonna move you up to cautious, and then we're gonna make your skill elite. And we're gonna go ahead and give you elite missile specialization so you can just blast those missiles out. And for you, you are going to get, I'll give you Eradicator. Alright, and I guess that means you're in the Venture? We definitely don't need this Apogee with us. Here's another source of squalls. Alright, for right now, you'll just be another source of squalls. I was not docked for that. Oops. Alright, let's do a little bit of exploring. Oof, ouch. We're going to do the tiniest bit of exploring because we need supplies. Yeah, this is even with the reduction. Are you hostile? Yeah. Despite your fleet transponder being turned off, it appears to be aware of your identity, likely due to the presence of notable ships in your fleet. So that's kind of how they balanced it. Are you independents? Because you have a Griffin. What faction are you? You look like independents. Now, of all the factions, you really don't want to piss off the independents because they have ships everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I mean absolutely everywhere. Attacking them, I don't think will cause you to go hostile with all independents. I think it's on like a case-by-case basis to reflect the nature of the independent faction. However, if you attack like a Syndrian fleet, Tritac, or Hedge, you'll immediately go to war. I don't think it's worth pissing off the independents for a Griffin, especially when we could just buy one. Alright, so let's do a little light exploring around here. Do some surveying. Okay. There's nothing there. I'm looking for ruins on the planet. I can always just come back later. Yeah, we have enough supply. Oh. We have 30 days of supply. Oh, hello. Where are your big brothers? I need the large. Need the large version of you. So here we have a Terran world that has ruins on it. This could be potentially massive. So let's see what we get. Organics. Ore. No rare ore. We got rare ore. That's fun. Class 5 planet. That's fantastic. I wish there wasn't rare ore because that's going to mess with the farmland, but this is phenomenal. Let's explore the ruins. We getting crew. We'll learn the midline blueprint. That's fantastic. Again, midline having some of the best ships in the game nowadays. And now, because we have this is further on, but we have a potential system that we can colonize. It depends though on what's on these barren worlds, and if well, we can't get. We're not gonna be able to get volatiles in this system. Alright. We might not settle here, but we'll do our survey regardless. Just to see what the other planets have. The reason I know we're not going to get volatiles is because volatiles can only spawn on certain planets, and those planets aren't present in the system. So, plentiful organics, so that's fantastic. Bit of a shame, but that's okay. Finding the perfect colonization world is really tough. There's a lot of things to consider. Thankfully for you guys, I have a guide on colonization that leads all the way from picking your initial colonization location all the way up to managing your colony, and then even dealing with the new hostile activity, which was introduced in 0.96. So we have enough to do one more survey, and then we have to turn around and go back to the core worlds. I'm going to drop the apogee off. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and just drop the apogee off. It's just sucking supplies for no reason. Let's head to Myosora. We have enough for 2 days. We have some nice bounties up here, so we're gonna go ahead and start exploring in that direction next. Yeah, the Ziggurat being a phase capital ship is a hungry boy. I think it's you. Oh, it was a little bit off. So let's dump the apogee. Oh, we're like out of supplies, out of supplies. Okay. I turned my transponder on. I was like, how do I have access to the regular market? Let's learn that. Let's learn that. Let's head over to Port Say. Let's buy some more supply, because that's not gonna get us anywhere. And then after these first few bounties, we're gonna go ahead and drop the ziggurat off. I just want to show it off at least. You have field modulation. I can step you from steady to aggressive. Yes. All right. We'll put you into one of our monitors, and we'll make your field modulation elite. This monitor now is basically unkillable. Not really, but it's getting there. Safety overrides. No, sorry, you want vents, yes. And we don't have hardened shields yet. We do have hardened shields. Oh, fantastic. Alright, you are located 14 days away. That's plenty of supply to get there and back. Alright. We'll go knock out those 2 bounties. Now I haven't tried going bounty hunting. Sure. I haven't tried going bounty hunting using the ziggurat, so I don't know if when you fight that faction, normally you get penalties with the pirates, like what will happen. I don't know if the game will like short circuit and then actually end up charging the host faction with the penalty, so we'll see. Okay. You want to talk? Okay. Yeah, like. Okay, sure. I thought there was an option for like dialogue. Sometimes there is, and they tell you to, you know, abandon your ways and turn in your ship. Doesn't look like it. Anyway, we will absolutely destroy destroy this sad fleet. So I'm gonna drop 1 eradicator for our griffin, and we'll go ahead in here. So way we're gonna do this is our monitors are in group 4, so we're gonna go ahead and push them forward into the enemy. Everybody else, I want you guys just to hang back for a second. Once we identify where the enemy is, how they're arrayed, then we're just gonna dogpile them. And you get to see a hilariously unbalanced ship. So, the Ziggurat, like I mentioned before, it's a phase ship. It gets access to phase space. The way this is built is it's all Reapers in the small slots and then Typhoon Reapers in the mediums. It uses phase anchor, which reduces the amount of time it takes to fire the next missile. Alright, so where are we at? We got 2 lashers. So these come off cooldown very, very quickly. I don't have missile specialization, so I start with a limited number of Reapers. However, this is still more than enough. They're both linked, so we end up firing. Where is... So we end up firing very quickly, and basically deleting everything in front of us. All right, so here's the enemy fleet. The reason we send the monitors forward also is not just for scouting. It's to screen the enemy. So the monitors end up soaking up all the missiles. They soak up the fighters. All that initial alpha strike just gets wasted on the monitors. In fact, we could just take a look at it. Like if we give you the eliminate order, we give you the eliminate order and then just take a peek. We get to see these guys at work. So this is why you don't need, if you run monitors in your build, safety overrides monitors in your builds, this is why I believe you don't need point defense, because their job is to be your fleet's point defense. And in return, all that ordnance points that you get to save from not putting Vulcan cannons, light dual machine guns, burst lasers, whatever, on your ships, you can put that back into vents, hull mods, just more offensive layers. And it makes your fleet overall just that much more powerful. So for these 2 ships that we include in the fleet, we save, you know, like 100 ordnance points spread out across the rest of our fleet. All right, so with that demonstration out of the way, I don't know how I ventured forward. It's a little spooky, but we're gonna go ahead and put everybody on full assault now. We're gonna keep the monitors on the eradicators because those are the highest targets, highest priority targets. They have all those hammers, so we do need to be careful. A lot of well-placed hammers will take down any ship in the game. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and do something like that. So our special ability is we get to direct what is spawning from the sides of our ships, which are moats. These moats, unfortunately, they just do EMP damage once you get control of them. However, you get a lot of them and you can spam them around really easily. And the way that I like to use them... Really? You're gonna fire a Reaper with your commander right behind that ship. At a frigate, no less. Anyway, like I was saying, the way I like to use my moats is I like to disable the target, disable its point defense, then follow up with a devastating Reaper volley. So, or I'll use my moats to support a ship. So when I see an engagement about to take place, I'll send my moats in, disable that ship for my ally, and then my ally will destroy them. These moats, you can fling them around. Oh. These moats, you get to fling them around pretty reliably. So, don't be afraid to use them. And then also on top of that, they don't cost any flux. So, right, they're like totally free. You can direct them while you're in phase space. So, get creative with it. Alright. What I see is a woefully unprepared Eradicator. I believe it's shield shunted. I haven't seen the shield yet. So we're gonna go ahead and mode it. And then we're gonna fire up our Reapers. Make sure all 6 are aligned. It's heading forward. Oh! Get down! And just basically erase it. I thought I killed my Aurora. Like 100%. We need to give you shield conversion front because you don't have 360, so your hull is getting damaged. So the monitor shield is basically impenetrable. However, we can actually have you do this. The monitor shield is pretty much impenetrable when it puts that fortress shield up. However, its hull is very weak, so you do need to be careful there. So this is why I'm gonna actually switch over to viewing the aurora. This is why the dragon missiles are better, just because they track onto the enemy versus the reapers, which have a very large chance of missing. I say as they dud out completely. What are you doing? You backed away from your target. Oh. We'll claim victory over this defeated fleet. So then we'll let our second in command handle it. We don't get the Eradicator. But we do get a nice, healthy supply of supplies. Okay. And that fight was a little chaotic. There'll be a little more organization in this bounty fight coming up. But that's pretty much how the fights go. We find whatever the capital ship is, or high value target is, and then delete it ourselves. And then the rest of our fleet kind of smashes everything in the surrounding area. So you are located near a dwarf primary star. So it could be either one of these. Any one of these three. Near a barren bombarded world. So we'll start with the closest white dwarf. I don't see any barren worlds. So let's see if this is one. Yep. That's barren bombarded, so let's go ahead and check. I don't believe it. Okay, so they definitely know who we are, but they are considered pirates, which is good. So let's move into engage. We'll continue. For this fight, we'll just bring in everybody. Also, I realized I didn't give you what you need. Which is fine. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll go ahead and give the assault order on that. So the monitor should move ahead of the rest of the fleet. And then once we get in range and we assess the battlefield, we can go ahead and give those like full assault orders. I did not realize our Aurora was faster than two frigates. That's spooky. Alright. Just keep an eye on the Aurora then. And by keeping an eye on the Aurora, we're going to go ahead and give it the follow command. Because it's about to get blapped by everything in their fleet. Okay. So let's go ahead and start giving some eliminate orders. We can cancel this order, and then we can start giving some engage. And this basically just keeps them aware of where the enemy is and just doesn't put them directly into their missile ranges. All right. I mean, it will, but like not immediately. They won't be toe-to-toe with the enemy. go ahead and fire these off. Get that beautiful shot. And before that explosion's even done, the rest of our weapons, or the rest of our Reapers are back online. So we can go ahead and fire off another one. The one issue you will face is that there's just debris everywhere when you use this ship. Let's go ahead and blap them. Get in range. Point defense is disabled. Ah. That's fine. Because we have backup. Oh. Careful back there. And the tachyon lenses do a really nice job of softening up that particular area. For a cautious officer, you are very far forward. So we should get the flame out there. And I believe that's it. Oh, we have an Omen escaping. Omens are phenomenal escort ships. Really powerful. They have the arc emitter ability on a very short cooldown, which basically swats down any missiles against your ship. So if you can't find monitors, but you can't find omens, like if you're near Tritac, but not Perseans, then you can definitely go with omens instead. However, omens don't do well if you put them forward. They're really more so reserved for escort. Alright. Nice. Oh, in fact, we will take an omen for ourselves. Carry on. Alright, and now the next bounty that's out here is a little further away, near barracks. I feel sorry for these poor guys just hanging out the edge of the galaxy, and then this mysterious ship of legend just pops out of the clouds, drops on top of them, and sends them to the Shadow Realm. What we do is we eventually want phase coil tuning for the ziggurat. But I don't necessarily know if it's best to go down blue line. Not yet, at least. We'll just deal with a subpar phase ship now. In the meantime, we're going to do something we never do, and we're actually going to take combat skills. Take target analysis for now. It's a massive buff to our tachyon lances. Okay, now you are located near a giant primary star, so you should be located here. It's a binary with a neutron star. Yay. This needs to be emergency burn because I have a strong feeling that we're going to use it as soon as we jump in. Nope, we've been spared. And you're near a barren, bombarded world. Desert. Barren. Oh, you're part of this system. Okay, so you're over here then. Oh shoot. Okay. Couldn't cancel that transverse jump. I didn't realize we were that close to the neutron star blast. Sure. We're gonna leave the ziggurat out of this because it's still repairing, and instead we'll just jump in. We'll jump in the Aurora. So we'll start the fight, because I believe this officer has missile specialization. We'll start the fight with them in the seat so that we get the buff from missile specialization, and then we'll go ahead and transfer in. The missile count will stay elevated, despite us not having missile specialization ourselves. So we'll move in, we'll continue. We won't deploy the ziggurat, instead deploying the rest of our ships. We'll spare the Omen. And again, I did not fix the monitor. But now that we started the battle, this has its missile specialization from our officer, so we'll go ahead and transfer command over. And we'll just work down the fleet. For this, we can probably just go full assault from the beginning. I don't remember even seeing eradicators, so we should be fine. Okay. Don't want to get too distracted by frigates. We do want to just be aware of like where the enemy is. Rude. Okay. So let's give our Eradicator some eliminate orders. So I want you guys over here. I want the Griffin to go ahead and take down the Manicore. And then I want you and you to deal with that. Kind of dance around, let our fleet get into position. It blapped. Beautiful flame out there. So I'm using plasma jets to reposition. I'm using plasma jets to line up with the enemy and reposition to get those Reapers on target. It gives you a nice amount of fidelity, so you can really line those shots up. Also, you can shoot debris near your enemy, and oh, nice try. Yeah, not today. Not today. Get out of here. Scram. These gremlins are really aggressive, and they will desperately try to get to your opponent's flank so they can deliver those nasty harpoons or hammers that they have. So I'm just escorting our ally here. Alright, please. What are you... Brother, go help your friend out. In fact, I want you to go forward, and I want you to go forward. Assist there. Okay. So you're fluxed out, so you're dead. Our guy should be okay here. So we're gonna go ahead and fire off our dragon fires. And then we'll switch to our antimatter blasters. And hopefully we can destroy this before you get destroyed. This is another advantage that we have using the dragon fires over the reapers. I can actually lend support here, whereas with the reapers I'd be trying to get around. Let's shield our ally here. Dragonfire is just choosing to go wherever they want. Because I'm pretty sure I had the Enforcer selected and not the Condor, but okay. That's fine. So we're gonna go ahead and bait the gremlin in here. Send it to the great beyond. Gremlins, if you don't have your shields up, sometimes will try to dash across you, only to realize they don't have enough flux to actually make the jump. Okay. Good job, boys. I don't think we can catch that kite. Yeah, we can't. All right. One of the challenges that we face using such a diverse fleet is our officers are very specific. We can't just make a generic template, right? Because some of our ships are going to have energy weapons, some of our ships are going to have ballistic. So it's kind of hard to just like build for all things. That said, better shields is usually always a good skill to have. Ordnance expertise is a nice generic skill, though I don't think that'll be necessarily that valuable on a Griffin, and you might end up just being our Griffin officer. So instead, we'll give you combat endurance. And a lot of you aren't going to like this, but I put safety overrides on our Griffin because it doesn't affect weapon range. Sorry, it doesn't affect missile range. It affects your normal weapons. This just allows the Griffin to keep up with the rest of our fleet. We get a low beacon. Not really interested in a low beacon. I believe it was Baron Bombarded. That looks pretty barren and bombarded. Could be this. So we'll do one more quick bounty, and then we'll call the episode here. You'd literally rather fly into the sun than fight me. Okay, well, solar winds are gonna blow you back to me, so. I just imagine the navigator noticing me across like the bridge and then yelling to his captain, "We need to get out of here right now." But like he just smashes the keyboard and just hits go before the captain even realizes what's happening, and then accidentally bakes half the ship flying into the sun, only to bounce back into the threat. Okay, this fleet is tiny, and I think I'm gonna toy with it. So I think I'm gonna go tiny as well. I think just me and the boys can get this done. I will be manning the Aurora yet again. And if things go horribly wrong, which I doubt they will, but if they do, then what we'll do is we'll just bring in the Eradicators, which are actually absurdly good ships. We're going to put our Dragonfires on just auto fire for now, as well as our Antimatter Blasters, and we're going to sit on our Reapers and look for those opportunities to deploy those Reapers. Also, in case you thought I was lying for some reason, Reapers start with 1. We get 1 from Expanded Missile Racks that's on our ship, and then we get 1 from the officer that was previously helming this ship. So now we get 3. Which is really huge. I love that for me. I was like, I probably could have just soloed. These poor frigates. Oh, these poor frigates. Yeah, I could have soloed this. So we don't have energy weapon mastery, which is a very important part of this build. What energy weapon mastery does is as you build up hard flux, or actually I think it's just any flux, but as you build up flux, your energy weapons do more damage. Because the Aurora has phenomenal shields, some of the best shields in the game in such huge capacity, basically you get to play in the face of the enemy. I have a ship showcase for this, actually, demonstrating this very thing. But you basically get to play in the face of the enemy. You're never really in threat, and the only thing that actually like builds your flux up is just your weapons firing. So basically you get a nice damage boost from energy weapon mastery the longer you fight an enemy. You're never really in danger because your shields are so strong. Those Gorgons are vicious. Long range snipe. Can you do it? It's too far behind. This poor ship. Well, I would say you guys put up a valiant fight, but it was really one-sided from the start. We don't get the Eradicator. We do get a Shade, which is a nice addition, so we'll snipe that. I didn't realize there was a Shade in the fight. And with that last fight done, we're going to go ahead and call this episode. I'm going to head back to the core worlds, trim down our fleet, make sure that we are very slim so that we can do some better exploration. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Other than that, Grumpy out.